The Europa League is back again, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for the second leg in the quarterfinal matches. Obviously, we did see the games for the first leg matches, and there were some pretty interesting results, having 3 out of the 4 games ending in a draw, which is pretty unusual. But even though there were a lot of draws, I still thought the games were very interesting, and this week, I think the games get even better, and I think there's going to be a few pretty unexpected upsets. In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the results for each of the second leg games, and obviously if you agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But if you disagree with my predictions and you think there may be a few upsets here and there, remember to leave your predictions down below and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. So without further ado, let's get right into these predictions. Starting off with the first game, we have Athletic Club against Rangers. The first leg was being played at Ibrox Stadium, but in my opinion, Rangers did very well to keep this game level because I thought they should have 100% lost that game. Obviously, Rangers were playing most of the game with 10 men as Proper ended up getting a red card in the 13th minute, and Athletic Club did not stop pushing. They wanted that goal, shot after shot after shot. They tried their hardest, but Rangers defended well. In terms of goalkeeping, they were very solid, and it ended up finishing in a 0-0 draw. But you cannot deny that Athletic Club definitely deserved to win that game. They dominated possession. They had almost 20 total shots. They had a penalty, which obviously did end up being saved. But now they get another chance at home. And in my opinion, they won't let this go to waste. Obviously, we could see another incredible game from Rangers, just like they did against Fenerbahce, where in the first leg, Fenerbahce had the home advantage and Rangers ended up winning 3-1. So we have seen them perform very well away from home this season in this Europa League competition. But in my opinion, I just don't think Athletic Club will let this chance go to waste. Obviously, the Europa League final game is being played at their home stadium, and this is probably the best chance they're going to get to win the Europa League, and for that reason I think they're going to be able to beat Rangers. Athletic Club are coming off of a good result in the La Liga where they ended up beating Rayo Vallecano 3-1 with their substitute scoring all 3 goals, with obviously Nico Williams getting one of those goals. And I think their team is very good. They have very good players, a lot of underrated players, and Rangers haven't been having the best season. They already have 7 losses in the Scottish Premiership, and for that reason, I think Athletic Club will be able to win this game 2-0. Moving on to the next match, we have Eintracht Frankfurt against Tottenham. If we go back to the first leg, it did finish in a 1-1 draw, with Ekitike scoring very early on in the 6th minute, but Pedro Porro ended up leveling the scoreline in the 26th minute, and the game did finish in a 1-1 draw. Now, I will say that Tottenham were the better team in that game. I thought Frankfurt did have a few chances where they could have scored, but in my opinion, Tottenham definitely had more better chances. They had more possession, and they had more shots. But in general this season, it is fair to say that compared to the players that Tottenham have, I think they're playing far below standard. To be only a couple positions above the relegation zone for a team like Tottenham, with the players they have, with the money they have, with the manager they have, they should not be this low in the Premier League table. And if you look at their most recent loss in the Premier League, where they lost 4-2 against Wolves, that was an embarrassing result. I just feel as if Tottenham defensively this season have not been good whatsoever. They have been so poor. And in this game, with Heung-min Son possibly missing out, and obviously with Danso and Dragusin both being injured, I feel like this weakens their squad even more. In my opinion, I think that the only way Tottenham would have been able to beat Eintracht Frankfurt in this tie is if they won that first leg with the home advantage. But obviously it did end in a draw, and Frankfurt at home are very good. In the Bundesliga, they have been solid this season. Very good, very compact, and they're able to score much more goals at home than they are away. Frankfurt are also coming off a great 3-0 win against Heidenheim, and for that reason, I think they will be able to score multiple goals in this game. I think it's going to be a very attack-heavy game. I think the defense on both teams may be lacking a little bit, and for that reason, I do think it will be a very high-scoring game. But I am going to predict that Frankfurt will win 3-2 and they will advance to the semifinals. Moving on to the next match, we have Lazio against Bodo Glimt. In the first leg, Bodo Glimt were completely dominant over Lazio. They had almost 60% possession and they had over 3 expected goals with 18 shots, 6 of them being on target. They were completely dominant over Lazio, and to be honest, for the whole entire game, it did not look at all like Lazio were going to score even 1 goal. Now, obviously, we have seen multiple times in this Europa League campaign how much of an advantage it is for Bodo Glimt playing at home. Playing on artificial turf, which most teams don't usually play on, it is a very big advantage for Bodo Glimt, and obviously they use that advantage, ending up beating Lazio 2-0. Now, it is also fair to say that Lazio in recent matches have not been on the best form. We've seen them getting a lot of draws in recent games, and if you look at them over the past 7 games, they've only won 1 of those games, which was a 1-0 win against Atalanta. But in this match, with the home advantage, I do think Lazio will be able to dominate Bodo Glimt, as they do not look nearly as good away as they do at home. So for that reason, I do think Lazio will be the better team in this game. In my opinion, I think in full time it is going to finish 3-1. So obviously on aggregate it will be tied. I think it's going to go into extra time, and I do think this game could go into penalties where it could go either way. But I am going to predict that Lazio end up winning the game by 2 goals, and they do end up winning on penalties. Therefore, I think Lazio will advance to the semifinals. And finally, moving on to the final match in the quarterfinal games, we have Manchester United against Lyon. Now, if we go back to the first match, it did end in a 2-2 draw. Lyon scored first, Man United ended up coming back and ended up going ahead with 2 goals, but then Lyon ended up scoring a 95th minute winner, which was a great goal by Ryan Cherki. Obviously, we did see the horrible mistakes that Andre Onana made. He should have saved both of those goals. It was horrible mistakes, especially on that first goal. All good goalkeepers know that if the ball is coming in from a cross or from a free kick, that you cannot wait for a deflection or for someone to hit it in. You have to go for the ball. And obviously he waited and the ball basically just bounced into his net. Honestly, it was a horrible mistake by Andre Onana. But it's not only Andre Onana, because Manchester United as a whole have been so poorly recently. And if you look at their last game in the Premier League, having lost 4-1 against Newcastle, that was a horrible result. And obviously we did see Joshua Zirkzee pull his hamstring, which makes things even worse for Man United. On the other hand, Lyon ended up beating Auxerre in their last game 3-1, which was obviously an away fixture. So they still do play good away, and they have that capability of scoring multiple goals, which I think will be very tough for Man United to keep out. The problem with Man United is that recently, especially with Zirkzee picking up an injury, I can only see Bruno Fernandes scoring in this game. I don't know what other player is going to score. Maybe Højlund, but other than that, I don't see any other outlets for scoring goals on Man United's team. When on the other hand, Lyon have many different scoring outlets with Cherki, Lacazette, Mkhitaryan, Tolisso. They score so many goals from many different areas of the pitch, and I just don't think Man United will be able to cope with that. And for that reason, I'm going to predict Lyon to win this game 2-1. And that is the end of this video. Those were my Europa League predictions for the second leg in the quarterfinal matches. If you guys agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But obviously, if you disagree with my predictions and you think there may be a few upsets here and there, remember to leave your predictions down below, and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And obviously, if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.